ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Deal or no deal? It seems to be what we've been hearing for weeks. A day after President Trump announced the U.S. would be bombing Iran and taking over its oil and gas reserves, the president now says a peace deal is imminent. ABC's Rachel Scott was in the Oval Office on Thursday.
You have said before that Iran and the United States were close to a deal. It has not happened yet. Why are you so convinced that this time is different?
Because they've taken a pounding. They've taken a pounding like very few people could take, and they want to make the deal a lot more than I do.
However, says ABC's Louis Martinez,
that is not what we're hearing from Iran. I think kind of predictably, you hear the very different language coming from Iran all the time whenever the president makes some optimistic comments about any potential agreement. And they're saying, nope, we have not agreed fully to a deal. Now, does this mean that maybe conceptually they've agreed to something? It's possible. Does it mean that there are still some sticking points? Yes, that's possible.
Members of Congress leaving Washington without extending the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Democrats protesting President Trump's choice of his friend Bill Pulte to be the acting director of national intelligence. What's expected to be the biggest initial public offering of stock hits the NASDAQ this morning.
SpaceX is making its Wall Street debut today, the biggest initial public offering in history. It's expected to turn Elon Musk into the world's first trillionaire. The company has priced 555 million shares at $135 apiece, a valuation of nearly $1.8 trillion. More than 4,000 current and former employees are expected to become millionaires.
ABC's Hannah Battah. At least 17 tornado reports across Illinois. Strong storms leaving 500,000 power outages this morning. Artist David Hockney has died. He was born in the north of England, but lived much of his life in Southern California, painting the bright swimming pools and colorful backyards of Los Angeles. He was 88. You're listening to ABC News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code PROGRAM25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PROGRAM25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PROGRAM25 for a 25 cents.
News and weather brought to you this hour by Flora Animal Hospital, where we treat your pets like our own. Visit our website, floraanimalhospital.com.
An exceptionally hot June weekend.
Dangerous heat is expected Friday through Sunday. The heat advisory goes out through Saturday.
From the National Weather Service weather briefing, a heat advisory is in effect for our area, and the Weather Service says that goes through Saturday, but could be extended through Sunday. With heat like this, the usual advice is to stay out of it and in the AC if you can, and drink lots of water or Gatorade. 95 and sunny today with a heat index at 105 or above. Tonight, it's clear with a low at 77. Saturday, the high is again 95 with a slight chance for afternoon storms. That chance goes up to 60% Sunday evening with a high at 93. Big time rain Monday and Tuesday. With news on 103.9 WYAB, I'm Chris Davis. The couple murdered last week in Simpson County will be buried Saturday. Visitation is tonight at Colonial Chapel Funeral Home in Magee, with a funeral Saturday at 10 at New Hebron Baptist Church for Billy Herbert Blair and Virginia Carol Barnett Blair. Meanwhile, in the misdeeds by the brothers of that shooter, according to police, the deputy, Yates Rodney, who was shot, will likely be in the hospital for a long time, paralyzed from the waist down by the bullet fired by the brothers Hobbs, according to Covington County deputies. WLBT reports some state lawmakers are already considering what tougher penalties may look like, but the men involved are adults. Two people who police believe had nothing to do with it were hit by bullets in a shootout on Bullard Street Wednesday. Jackson police say that happened out of Texaco and that a man and woman both ended up going to the hospital, while the shooters, at least one of them shooting from some bushes, got away. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
Why don't you mind your own business? Mind my own business. What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have time to keep growing and to keep up with payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now. 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, jump away at the storm. Chip away, that's what I'm gonna do. Sweet little mama, I want my cat next to you.
And good Friday. Thank God it's Friday morning. It is the Chip Matthews program. I am the one, the only, the star of the show, Chip Matthews. Don's been off all week, so I get to be the superstar, shining star for you to see what their life can truly be. Jeff Thomas, good morning to you. Good morning, Russell McGuffey. Good morning, Chris Stout. Good morning to all of you out there in Radio Land. Good morning, Lloyd Travis. Ooh, it is a Ribs and Catfish Friday at Beethoven's on the Reservoir. So y'all come on out and try that. Ribs and catfish. And then that's also coming up on Father's Day weekend. That's not this weekend. That's next weekend. The buffet on Sunday, just to make it sure that all the fathers get what they want to eat. We're having a big old barbecue Friday, buffet on Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And on that buffet will be sausage, barbecue sausage. It will be ribs. It will be, we're going to put some catfish out, but we're also going to have brisket, and we're going to have pulled pork, and we're going to probably have some pork loin. Ooh, and then, of course, some quarter chickens. Some chickens. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Barbecue Father's Day. And lots of music. Doug Hurd's playing on Father's Day also. So y'all come on out, check it out. The one, the only, the Beethoven's on the Reservoir, right there next door to Cock of the Walk. And we also got our pirate ship in. So we're going to probably be out there patrolling the straits of, I believe I'm calling them the Straits of Chip Matthews right now, up there at the top of the thing, right before you get into what used to be called Main Harbor. Yeah, we're going to be right there. We're going to be pirating through there. Arg. But anyway, good morning to y'all. It's another great day. It's a great American day. It is Ole Miss baseball weekend. It's this weekend tonight. Ole Miss will take on North Carolina. North Carolina. Yes, that'll be going on tonight. Also out at the beautiful Beethoven's on the Reservoir, we have for happy hour or the early hours, we have Ralph Miller. Then we have Blue and Bear. That's Howard Blue's son's little band. Naked Sunday. They're looking forward to seeing y'all tomorrow night. Yes, they will be in the house Saturday. I can't wait for them. They got a new set together, this, that, and the other. It's going to be doggy, as Jay Clampett would say. That's going to be some good music. Y'all come on out, check it out. Also, remember, 6 p.m. tonight, they'll be chiming it in, the one, the only, the Radio Strongman. Kim Wade will be in here getting you ready for the Gun and Knife Weekend in Jackson. And, the sad thing is Gun and Knife Weekend in Jackson has now spread to the other areas of Mississippi outside of the Benny Thompson district. It's not just the Benny Thompson's district anymore. You have all these shootings in the other side of the interstate now, down in South Mississippi, as they move across the state. And then I saw where they're also going to go back to redrawing the lines on the 2020, I think it was 2022 map. I don't know what that means. I haven't looked to see what we pick up there. But, I mean, legislators, Michael Watson, all of y'all, figure it out. Figure it out. You can't be in the middle of an election start redrawing lines, can you? And if you do, does that mean we got to redo our primary? Is that the end game there? Is that what we're up to? You don't like who we have, so you're trying to figure a new way out? I don't know. I'm disgusted with the whole thing. I mean, if you look at it, you all saw where Shad White went to court, and of course he lost his battle on whether or not he had the right to help Mississippi out and enforce the laws of the state. Since Lynn Fitch is not doing that, but it said that Lynn Fitch is the only one that has the right to sue other people, and that the powers of the auditor's office, they don't have any power. They have the power to find the problem, and that's the problem here in Mississippi. Once you find the problem, then you've got to get another politician to agree to move forward. I mean, in the case of Michael Watson, we found the power that be, and of course all these, and you got to understand these state agencies. Auditor's office has a bunch of lawyers working there. So does the Secretary of State's office. Now we carried in to the Secretary of State's office, 100 people that had illegally worked the polls in Madison County. Okay, we carried it to them. Said, look, y'all need to do something about this. And they said, oh, where'd you get your list? Because at first they wanted to push back. And I said, well, we got the list from payroll. This is the people you paid. And they don't live in Madison County. Whoop, oops, that's a mistake. So how'd you have that many people working? Well, no, it's because they don't keep up with what they're doing. We tried to report this to the different powers to be, the election commission. And of course, the lawyer for the election commission said, no, you're not going to come in here and do anything. We'll put you in jail. But anyway, we got our list to the Secretary of State's office, and then they decided that it had to go forward. And then it went to Lynn Fitch's office, and she said, we're not going to prosecute any election crimes. Yep. Deaf ears. And I mean, it's the same thing Shad White was exposing. The fact that the office of the Attorney General's office, which she's been very busy, y'all, looking for kids everywhere. Meanwhile, I hadn't heard him say anything about the Pineywood school stuff, and Jeffrey Epstein and the people that were being trafficked out of the Pineywood school to go to Epstein Island, and we're also as they were moving on. I mean, Epstein was paying them for them to go to school at Mississippi College and other colleges around the country. Once they had visited the island. Sort of the payoff, I guess you could say, or keep them on the payroll. That's the problem. Money makes it all happen. And some of these people that are running around with money don't have any real money because they're politicians. And so what do they do with their money? Oh, they just go steal it from us, the tax dollars. They send it to these NGOs and these nonprofits around the state who we don't regulate, which is also something else that Shad White has uncovered, that you could go and, if you're not supposed to be able to audit their books, you go and find the information. And when they did carry these people to trial, the feds carried people to trial. They couldn't do anything about it. because they got there and they said, well, Ted DiBiase did this and Ted DiBiase did that. But once it got into his group, into his NGO, he could do whatever he wanted to with it because we have no regulations over how to handle it. And of course, of that pile of money, $400,000 of it was testified to, went to a particular law firm, right? Interesting. And then, of course, nothing against that, but I mean, it wasn't particularly a law firm that it sounded like was something that he was affiliated with that he needed to be concerned about because the person that defended him, I know him well, and he's running for office out in a Chancery Court. I think it's Chancery Court out in Rankin County. And there's several people there and running in Rankin County. But, as you look at all this stuff and all this corruption, and if you're not a part of the political wheel in Madison, in Mississippi, and when I say the political wheel, I'm talking about the alleged Republicans who mostly run the world like rhinos, who are in office. I mean, these ballless, backboneless people that run around and act like they're doing something when they're doing absolutely nothing. Nothing they do is improving your life. The whole idea of a politician, when you go into office, is I'm going to make life better. I'm going to fix the things around us that needs to get fixed. I'm going to make sure that Mississippi, as you elect Republicans, they're supposed to be making sure that we're going to cut tax dollars. We're going to be good stewards of your money. And we're going to make sure that everything around us is peaches and cream. Yeah. And I don't mean the band Reunited. When you think about it, and I put up a TikTok video I saw yesterday of Jackson, Mississippi in 1983. Boy, howdy. It was Jackson in the central Mississippi area. And that little video of everybody going to Fun Time Skateland and Candlestick Park, it showed people graduating at Forest Hill High School, and it showed cheerleaders, and it showed riding around and people out in public and people at the dock and places like that. And, it looked safe. It looked homogenized. It looked, how would you say it? When you looked at the streets and the areas around them, they were all clean and set up. I mean, where we've gone since 1983, and everybody's going to say, well, Chip, the stuff got old and thought, well, it was old and wore down there. Mississippi's been here for a long time. The United States has been here for 250 years, and the cultural rot of what's going on in the world, we've not been good stewards of what we have left. And the people in charge, and the more money, and the sad thing is they got more money to do it, more money to solve the problems, and they just steal it. They just misspend it. I mean, this welfare reform and all this stuff that's fixing to come down the pipe, and don't think Trump is just going to turn the other cheek. And I mean, you're in a situation now where we've got people that we're fixing to put back in office who have not made our lives any better while they were in office. And if you can complain about your senators, or you can complain about your congressmen, if you can complain about these people, I mean, you can complain about Benny Thompson all day long. You say you can't get rid of him. Yes, you can get rid of him. The state legislatures could have redistricted a long time ago. They've, you redistrict every so many years regardless. And when you look at the situation there where Benny Thompson's been given physical hold of over half of the state, you can't help but to think that, we didn't build a wall at I-55, and now that culture rot of Benny Thompson's district is just spilling over into Simpson County and all of that. And you start looking at it and you just go, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. Good morning, Will Brown. It's just awful that we don't care. Now, we say we care. We say we'll do something. And the hotter it gets, y'all. Now, that's the other thing you got to think about. When the weather gets hot and money gets short, they're just out there being worse. I heard a story this morning on the national news about some kids who were held up by gunpoint by other kids at their lemonade stand. Everybody there was under 14. And they stole $50. Huh. I guess that's two glasses of lemonade in the economy we live in now. But anyway, when you look at it, it's ridiculous. And think of all the other people that are stealing. Think about the people that are stealing from us the most, and we don't do anything about it. And you're going to go, Chip, where are you going with this? Everybody that does not get a tag on their car from the state of Mississippi is completely avoiding taxes. So that is tax fraud. That's a fraud. When you ride around with a Texas tag or another tag from another part of the state and you have a Mississippi driver's license on your hand, you're committing tax fraud. Because those tax dollars that go on that tag on that car, and we let these car insurance companies, they rent cars in this state. Everybody's got on the weekend. Everybody in the hood goes rents them a Challenger or a Dodge Charger with a Texas tag on it, or someplace else. What's wrong with y'all? Those are $1,000 tags. Some of them higher than that. That's tax fraud. Meanwhile, they just ride up and down the streets, tearing up the streets even more. And we allow this. We've got to figure out a way to get a grip, and people in the government need to start holding people accountable for what they do. I have tags on my cars. I have insurance on my cars. And that's the other thing. All the people with no tags at all, you think they got insurance on that car? Probably not. That's the other thing. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Probably not. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show.
1039 WYAB.
It's another sunny weekend on the reservoir. Beethoven's Boardwalk. Come on out this weekend. Enjoy a pizza and Acme Pizza. Enjoy a steak in the Fork and Flame Steakhouse, or enjoy music. Friday night, Baloo and Bear. Saturday night, it's rock music with Naked Sunday. And coming your way next weekend, it's Sweet Tooth Jones and Country Invades Our House with the Jason Miller Band. Also, Father's Day weekend, don't miss the Father's Day barbecue. Yes, our buffet on Sunday will be all barbecue, brisket, ribs, sausage, chicken. We'll also have baked beans, potato salad, coleslaw, and all the barbecue will be slow smoked in pecan wood on our Southern Pride smoker. The party's happening in one place on the reservoir, in the sunlight and on the deck at Beethoven's Boardwalk, 135 Madison Landing Circle on the reservoir.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Managing payroll, benefits, workers' comp, and HR tasks can take valuable time away from running your business. That's where People Lease comes in. From payroll processing and tax filing to employee benefits and retirement plan administration, People Lease helps simplify your back office operations while improving employee satisfaction. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Schedule your consultation today at peoplelease.com. That's peoplelease.com.
Metal Builder Supply in Pearl provides quality commercial and residential metal roofing, pre-engineered steel buildings, mini storage facilities, pole barns, and steel components with old-time service and competitive prices. Through our commitment, experience, and expertise, Metal Builder Supply has established a business relationship with our customers that will last a lifetime. When you need metal roofing, reflective insulation, trim, or metal decking, contact Metal Builder Supply online at metalbuildersupplypearl.com.
Dr. Mike Stonington here from Stonington Farm Grass-Fed Beef.
Here in South Mississippi on Stonington Farm, our steers are grass-fed and grass-finished. No grain, no hormones, no antibiotics, no mRNA vaccines. Our grass-fed and grass-finished beef is straight from our farm to your table. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and at StoningtonFarm.com. That's StoningtonFarm.com with 2 N's. And we deliver every 4 weeks to the Jackson area. We are the grass-fed difference.
Are you thinking about your next vehicle purchase? Hi, I'm Casey Ellis, owner of Ellis Autoplex in Brandon. If you've been searching for a clean diesel or half-ton truck, your search is over. At Ellis Autoplex, we specialize in the vehicles people actually want. Whether you're upgrading, buying your first truck, or looking for something the big dealerships don't have, Ellis Autoplex is worth the drive. Stop by and see why more and more people across the Southeast are choosing Little Truck City. Follow us on Facebook or shop online at ellisautoplex.com.
Hi, this is Rita Jensen with Remax Connection. I've been selling real estate now for well over 30 years, and I typically use Chadwick Home Inspectors. And Chad has done many, many home inspections for me.
They are pretty much from roof to foundation. Most people are surprised at just how thorough these home inspections can be. Been working with Rita almost a decade now. Very rarely does she let a deal fall apart. She can usually find a way to negotiate where both parties are satisfied.
RitaJensen.net.
Every night, thousands of Mississippians gather around the radio to follow the hottest team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves. And the voice leading the way? Madison's own Ben Ingram. Local Roots, a winning team. If your business wants to connect with loyal, engaged listeners all season long, there's still time to become a Braves broadcast sponsor on WYAB. To learn more, email info@wyab.com. It costs a lot less than you think. That's info@wyab.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Yes, the Cultural Rot Society exists here in Mississippi, your beautiful state, the place, the hospitality state, the place where everybody wants to live, but nobody wants to live right. Nobody wants to do anything to fix anything. How y'all doing today? Here it is Friday morning. It is a Catfish and Rib Friday out at Beethoven's Boardwalk. Come on out for the lunch special. It's huge. It's big. It's big. It's tremendous. Plus, nobody else has a view we have. I mean, I think it's besides having some of the best tasting food around, nobody can beat the view. You can't beat our view. You can't go anywhere and beat our view. And for those of you that think someplace like Ocean Springs is a great place to go, well, this weekend, or rather the last night, deadly officer, Ocean Springs police shooting under investigation. What happened was a guy, when officers arrived at this place, they found a man with a weapon and ordered him to drop it. He didn't drop it. Investigators say the man moved toward officers in a threatening way, and officers opened fire, striking him. He went to the hospital. He was alive, and then he later died. You know, the gun violence that's out there is pretty rampant. And it's not the guns doing it, y'all. It's the people it's the insanity that a person thinks that is the way to solve every problem. And when you sit there and look, you can say whatever you want. I mean, you got the kid that he solved a problem by just stabbing somebody, is what he thought he did. And now he's in jail. And the mom was going, my baby, my baby. Violence is, especially when it gets hot. Violence will be on the rise. Hot heads. I mean, you just get frustrated in this weather. And I mean, it's going to be miserably hot today and miserably hot tomorrow. And it'll probably be miserably hot through September, with occasional October ones. And I got up here, Spartan, Mississippi. Mississippi is a lost cause. Mississippi's not a lost cause. Because sooner or later, the people will wake up. That's just the way this goes. Right will always outdo wrong. And at some point, people will have had enough. And I'm sitting here as your motivator to try to explain to you that you've had enough. You've had enough. You've had enough of politicians not doing anything for you. You've had enough of them. If you enforce the small laws, the bigger laws would fall into place. If you and in the subject of the kids that are running around stealing cars and then having cars full of guns and then going shooting 70-year-olds and police officers and everything, come on, there's a way to solve that problem. You're going to have to go deeper into that family's background and say, okay, like the Hobbs brothers, they obviously were raised in a home that was a little rough. And are part of the culture, right? And we need to go to their house and say, okay, were they raised on government aid? Were we the ones paying for their parents? I mean, if we give you money to help raise your kid, then we should have some say in that, And when you are not raising your kids properly, we should take that money away from you. It's that simple. Sort of like your job is to raise your kids. That's why the government gives you welfare. Your job is to raise your kids. You need to go get a job and do it yourself, but that's the handout from the government. They want to help you help yourself. And when you just take the money and don't raise your kids, then you need to be responsible for that. So these 3 boys that are facing murder charges for 3 or 4 people that they've killed, and don't think that it isn't possible that they've killed before, just hadn't been caught on those yet. They've obviously had guns. They know how to shoot them. They know where they're doing. I mean, they're proficient in killing. They've become professional killers. They're going to do professional time if justice is done properly. But the other side of that is, what do you do? What do you do? You hold the parents responsible. They need to be held on charges also. You see it every once in a while. There's chances where, or at least in the case of this is kind of a no. You got 3 sons who went and killed people. That's pretty closed shut. You're not trying to raise them. And you say, well, they got crazy about such as. No, you start reading and writing and you teaching them at an early age. They don't teach it. And that's part of the school's problems. They're not teaching people to read and write. And when you can't read and write, you get frustrated because although reading date's getting you through the 3rd, by the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, they haven't retained any knowledge on how to read or write. Makes you think that the Mississippi Miracle is a lie. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Makes you think that the Mississippi Miracle is a lie. We'll be back with more right here on the
1039 WYAB.
In the heart of rural America, we know the value of an honest day's work. While the big corporate brands focus on their stock prices, Outlaw Light is focused on you. We're an independent American brand built on resilience. We don't preach or teach. We just brew. That means a high-quality, 105-calorie light beer at a price that respects your hard-earned dollar. For the patriots, the dreamers, and the doers, America deserves a new light beer. Grab an Outlaw. It's darn good beer.
You wake up tired. You drag through the day. The drive's gone. The focus is gone. And somewhere along the way, you stopped feeling like yourself. At Live Better Men's Health and Wellness in Gluckstadt, they help men take control again with personalized testosterone therapy, wellness treatments, and real answers. Fast lab work, real medical professionals, no judgment. Stop settling for fine. Start living better. Live Better Men's Health. Online at livebettermen.com.
Want insider tips on foundation repair, maintenance, and how to protect your biggest investment? Todd Sandridge, owner of Superior Foundation Services, will be dropping in this month for quick interviews with your favorite local hosts. Whether you're dealing with cracks, settling, or just want peace of mind, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Superior Foundation Services, helping you stay on solid ground. Find them online at superior.ms. That's superior.ms.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. SpaceX hits the NASDAQ today. Money raised at its IPO, estimated to be $75 billion, so it would become the largest public offering in history. The stock sale also expected to make Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire. Powerful storms leaving 500,000 customers without power in several states.
In Wisconsin, fallen trees and utility poles littering the roads. In Iowa, torrential rain swamping communities, with some areas seeing more than 3 inches in a single day. The downpours stretching all the way to Pennsylvania. Forecasters say the combination of high heat and humidity is helping fuel these storms. Feels like temperatures could top 100 degrees today along parts of the East Coast.
That's ABC's Sophie Flay. Hours before he threatened to escalate the war by bombing Iran and taking over its oil facility, President Trump is now calling off new military strikes and claiming a breakthrough in negotiations to end the war. Iran is disputing that. This is ABC News.
El Potrillo, hear that call? Best Mexican food of all. Hot and fresh, that's what you get. Every plate you won't forget. El Potrillo, vámonos. Best Mexican food around, you know. El Potrillo, come on through. Hot, fresh, delicious for you. El Potrillo Mexican Restaurant.
El Potrillo Mexican Restaurant, located in Flowood and Brandon.
The only thing hotter than Mississippi in the summer is a Mississippi summer when the power goes out. This summer, be ready. Call Cowden Electric. They can install a permanent standby generator that automatically kicks on the second the power fails and keeps your whole house running. Hey, you already got a portable generator? Call Cowden Electric and let them set it up so you can safely plug it into your breaker box and power just the essentials. Don't wait for the next outage. Call Cowden Electric today or visit CowdenElectric.com and stay powered up when the grid goes down. CowdenElectric.com.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
It's 6:37 in the morning. It is the Chip Matthews Show, brought to you worldwide by Beethoven's Boardwalk on the Reservoir out there on the Gulf of Beethoven's. Come on out and see us. It's ribs and catfish today. Come on out. And tonight it's Baloo and Bear Live. And then tomorrow, Naked Sunday, Saturday night, Naked Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be great. You're going to enjoy it. And then coming up the following week, we have, and also on Sunday, we have Sound Check. Sound Check, the band will be playing. It's going to be happening. It's going to be good music out there all weekend long. Come be a part of it. Ralph Miller, we got some more solo artists this weekend. We also have the Southern Grass, the Bluegrass on Sunday during the Sunday buffet, Super Sunday buffet. So come on out, check it out. Now, getting back to this culture rot weekend that's about to occur. And, you just had a deadly week here in Mississippi. A deadly week. Of course, when they do the count, Jackson's count's only at 35. I wonder what the surrounding counties are. But the culture rot throughout the state in the Benny Thompson district and now spilling out of the Benny Thompson districts into other parts of the state, you would think, and I saw some legislators say, we need to start looking at it. We're not looking for gun control. We're looking for kid control. How about that, y'all? Kid control. Responsible gun ownership is what we need. But these kids believe that once they get a gun, they can go do whatever they want. They go kill whoever. And then they go in their house and they scare their own parents. And they scare you because you didn't raise them to begin with. You didn't rear them up right. When the government gave you the money, you got behind in teaching your child something. And then the school system has let you down. The school system let you down in Hinds County real bad. And nobody seems to really, really call that a problem. Right? They're tearing schools down in Jackson, Mississippi today. They started tearing them down earlier this week. And they're tearing schools down because people left town. There's nobody to go to the schools. And then, of course, the schools are also looking at it. We've been maintaining that building, although they've had it closed for a while. We spend $1 million a year on that building. Well, you'll have to find somewhere else to steal money from now that you say that you're sending money to rebuild a school that you got to tear down now. And no telling who got those contracts. But the whole idea is to have more money in the pile at the administrative offices there for the Jackson Public Schools, where they can squander that money and do whatever they want. They're not educating any kids. We're not doing that. We're not trying. There are some good teachers out there that are trying, but they know that they're in a system that does not help them do what they need to do. And then I look on TV last night and I see the one, the only Brad Franklin kamikaze, who had a failed career as a rapper because his partner David Banner took off and went and made something happen. Sitting on TV in a shirt, and it's an outline of Africa, and in the middle of it, like it's one of the states of Africa, it's got a Mississippi cut out of Mississippi inside it. What the hell is that supposed to mean? You wish that Africa and Mississippi were one? Well, they are, because Benny Thompson has created the Republic of Africa here in Mississippi. And in his Republic of Africa, y'all, it's just like Africa, undeveloped nation. We took a developed nation and took it backwards in Mississippi in the Benny Thompson district. That's what we've done. We've created Africa in Mississippi. Now, just because you say Africa, that has nothing to do with race. We're talking about an undeveloped nation that's been there for years. Africa is an undeveloped nation. Okay, any way you look at it. Africa has not contributed anything to the rest of the world except diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Okay? Think about it. Think about it. Africa has not, you don't hear of any great invention that came out of Africa. And Benny Thompson's district, we once were prosperous and moving forward. And that's one thing about being an American. Being a real American, you want to do better every day. And if we're not inspiring that in our youth at the schools and in the homes where we're raising these kids, that is the problem. Here it is, America's 250th anniversary, and you got kamikaze sitting on the TV talking about June 19th, a holiday that they created out of the Obama era to say that this is our holiday. And then you will hear people, because I heard it last year and I heard it the year before, they're going to come out and say the 4th of July is not their holiday. Our independence was on June 19th. And he was on TV, so proud of the last 10 years. They turned June 19th, the day that they finally found out that they were free in Texas. They made that a holiday. You were always free. Everybody in America has been free since day one. That's what equal rights is. Civil rights and conflict, these are just controversial laws and things that need to be solved. I mean, the war between the states was about an argument they were having in Congress. Okay, that's what it was about, and they couldn't get it settled. So a war was broke out in order to settle the conflict. And then, of course, when you fire on your neighbors, whether you for or against the issues, you got to back your neighbors. And that's one thing that it showed during the Civil War. The people in the South were invaded by the people from up north. And although General Lee didn't, he'd fought for America for years, he wasn't going to pick up a rifle and shoot it against his neighbor. That's all it was about. And it was about something that politicians couldn't agree on in Washington. And that just means they weren't thinking. They had gotten complacent. The thing about money And you got to understand, America was, all the money was coming this way. When I saw Cindy Hyde Smith talking about they're working on getting cotton growing again in Mississippi, and you got to look back at it, and then there'll be somebody say, well, that's racist. No, that's not racist. That's the economy. Cotton was a big part of it. Just like tomatoes are a big part of it. And right now, you need to be getting all you people that are growing tomatoes now and they're getting ready, you need to go find your air conditioning man and give them some tomatoes. Why? Well, you go, Chip, what does that have to do with anything? Well, it's going to get hot. You need to make sure you have an air conditioning guy or somebody like that in your back pocket that you can call in the middle of the night and say, hey, my air conditioner's out. But when they say, well, it's out because the electric company ran out of electricity because they have to put it in the data center, there ain't much they can do then. But if it's out because you haven't maintained it through the winter or from last year to this year, because, I mean, we're at that season now where the air conditioner comes on and it just stays on. And power's been going out in Canton every other day. I already think that Canton is on rolling blackouts. Now, they would never admit to that, but it'll be a nice, pretty day like this in the morning. The other morning I was up, electricity off. I was like, why the hell is that? This stuff exists. So slavery didn't exist, huh? Michael Horton, slavery didn't exist? Yes, it did exist. Nobody said it didn't exist. I said it was a controversy. It was an issue. You know, the Irish got tired of their government bullshit. Oh, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Excuse me. You know, slavery's existed, and not just black people were involved in slavery. But the war broke out because the North and the South couldn't get their arguments together. Because things had to be done. People had to do certain things. Sort of like out in California when they're saying you can't get rid of the Mexicans because the Mexicans, if without them, we can't get the crops picked. That's nothing more than slavery in y'all's terms. But just remember, a lot of people, you wind up in the situations you wind up in through unique things. For instance, I didn't a billion years ago know that I would be an American when I was finally born. Okay? I didn't know that because I was not here. And then when I got here, what happened? I was reared in a home and in a city where people taught me American values. And American values are why you live in America in order to be free. So it doesn't matter how you got here. Be glad you're here, because the things that went on in the Civil War and that those things happened. But if you go back in time, I'm sure my family was in conflict 80 decades ago. 80, been around forever. We've all been around forever. If we all came from Adam and Eve, we all can, right? So if you do the math, it was the conflicts and situations that occurred in each other's neighborhoods that make you be the person that you're going to be. And right now, the problem is not nationwide. The problem now is in your own backyard. You have to secure your block. You have to make sure your neighbor is being a good steward of the rules. So when you look at your neighbor's house and he's got cars out there, 10 cars in the driveway, and none of them have a current tag on them or a tag from the state of Mississippi, they are committing tax fraud. They're riding on your roads that you're paying your taxes for. You know, if you pull somebody over and they don't have their driver's license doesn't match their tag, and it's their car, that's supposed to be a problem. It used to be a problem in the 70s and 80s. Laws haven't changed, have they? To where you can get away with what you want. We're here in America because we want to be Americans. And Americans are free, and we fight over being free. And currently, we're not free because the thugs in the streets on the weekends, this weekend, there'll be some innocent baby shot or child shot. Somebody gets some extra gunfire. People don't think about the property they destroy. You know, they'll steal the car. They don't think about the people inside that house that have to have that car to go to work. In Mississippi, you got to have a car to go to work. If you have a job, you got to do it. There are things in life in Mississippi where those that are trying to get ahead have to go do. And then when roads tear up your cars and this, that, and the other, that's the legislators not spending your money properly. Meanwhile, we got a sin tax on everything. And they don't do what they need to do. Y'all get up, wake up, be an American, take care of your own self, defend yourself. Expect more out of your government. Expect more out of the people that are supposed to be representing you. Expect people to be red, white, and blue. And if they're walking around with an African flag on their shirt, you know, if I had a Dixie flag on my shirt, you'd say something to me. Say something to them. Say, are you not American? Interesting. Interesting concept. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show. Interesting. Interesting concept.
1039 WYAB.
It's another sunny weekend on the reservoir. Beethoven's Boardwalk. Come on out this weekend. Enjoy a pizza and Acme Pizza. Enjoy a steak in the Fork and Flame Steakhouse, or enjoy music. Friday night, Baloo and Bear. Saturday night, it's rock music with Naked Sunday. And coming your way next weekend, it's Sweet Tooth Jones and Country Invades Our House with the Jason Miller Band. Also, Father's Day weekend, don't miss the Father's Day barbecue. Yes, our buffet on Sunday will be all barbecue, brisket, ribs, sausage, chicken. We'll also have baked beans, potato salad, coleslaw, and all the barbecue will be slow smoked in pecan wood on our Southern Pride smoker. The party's happening in one place on the reservoir, in the sunlight and on the deck at Beethoven's Boardwalk, 135 Madison Landing Circle on the reservoir.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic Southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Hi, this is Mary Beth Hardy, owner of Flora Pharmacy. Flora Pharmacy is proud to be locally owned and operated. We believe in the power of community and personalized care. At Flora Pharmacy, we treat you like family. And for your convenience, we offer curbside service and prescription home delivery. Just pull up and we'll bring your prescriptions right to you. Can't make it to our store? Flora Pharmacy will drive it to your doorstep. Come see the best pharmacy in town today at Flora Pharmacy, where care meets convenience. Highway 49 in Flora.
Need to ship something fast, print something now, or wrap the perfect gift? Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt, your one-stop shop for all major shipping carriers. We pack and ship with care, offer private mailbox rentals, copy services, create and print banners, print your photos, lamination, binding, and secure document shredding. We always have a notary available, and we do gift wrapping too. Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt across from Callaway's or online at mailroomgluckstadt.com. Stop in today and get it all done in one place.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
I'm on a diet. I don't want to be down there at Tom's Fried Pies. We had a good time. When I tell you the crust was flaky, I'm talking about buttery. This was nothing like I've ever tasted. Ever. I mean, I've never tasted anything like that, man. It was nice. atmosphere was nice. Everybody there was nice. Because I'll be back, even though I don't supposed to with my diet. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Tom'sFriedPies.com. Tom'sFriedPies.com.
Hi, this is Alan Allen, nurse practitioner at the MEA Medical Clinic in Flora, Mississippi. Located in the Cotton Exchange Plaza, we are here to provide patient-centered care that is thorough, compassionate, and convenient. Whether you need primary care services or same-day medical care when you aren't feeling your best, we're here to support your health.
MEA Medical Clinics.
Seeing well plays a big role in helping you read well. That's why it's not a minute too soon for students of all ages to schedule an eye exam with Dr. Bobby C. Pankey and Associates in Clinton and Richland. They can also help you with a great selection of frames, lenses, and contacts, all at affordable prices. See well, read well, do well. For all your back-to-school eye care needs, visit Optical 2000 Clinton and Richland. Optical-2000.com.
Stay in touch. Follow Optical 2000 on Facebook.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Yes, I am Chip Matthews. You are absolutely who you are. 7666655 in the morning. Remember, come on your way at 707 the one, the only, the Clay Edwards Show right here on most of this same radio station. Also on YouTube, Rumble, Fun, Facebook, X, Striper, Stripper, everything. It comes on everything. But anyway. Also, let me remind you that this weekend, out at the bar, Friday night tonight, Baloo and Bear, it's Howard Blues Kids Band. Saturday, it's Naked Sunday. Sunday afternoon on the deck, it's Soundcheck the Band. And that'll all be going on at Beethoven's on the Reservoir. You come on out. It'll be nice, sunny and hot. Also, we'll have the game on, Ole Miss versus North Carolina, as they play in the College Baseball World Series. At least we're represented. Mississippi's represented. Also, USA versus Paraguay. All you Paraguayans, we'll let you come out there and hang out with us, USA people. And hopefully the USA fighting being in the World Cup will help unite the country a little bit more. I mean, right now everybody's getting behind the Knicks, but that's because they hadn't won in a billion years. And I mean, I don't watch NBA that much, but Knicks basketball making a comeback is very important to the NBA. But, you know, it's still a far cry from where it needs to be. But, and last night, y'all, I want to tell y'all about a story out at the restaurant that I thought was, I saw a group of people, 8 or 9 people walking in the front door. And they walked in and they said, oh, we love this place, blah, blah, blah. They saw a cutout. And I have a lot of political stuff laying around. They saw a cutout of Trump. Then they asked me, was I a fan of Trump? I said, yes, I support our president. And they looked at me and they said, we can't eat here. And they left. And I looked at them and went, you know, part of retreating is not winning, you know. He's not there to deter. He's not a scarecrow. He is the president of the United States, and he is doing great things for this country. And whoever the president is, I mean, if they had looked around, they would have seen a cutout of Barack Obama. He's there. There's a big old rubber mask of him there too. Do I support his actions? No. But when he was president, he was president. That was just that. And I collect memorabilia from different presidents. I even have a bar of soap that says Clean Up America, and it's Jimmy Carter from 76 with a little donkey. Y'all, politics, we can either take it serious or we're not. I mean, most of these people that probably walked out last night don't even vote, probably. And I just sit there and look at it and say, these people are not engaged in knowing what's going on in the world. And a lot of people say, well, Chip, you shouldn't put your politics in your business. Let me tell you something. Well, the restaurant business is about making friends and shaking hands and kissing babies and you have good food, but you got to be friends with people. And if you're going to be friends with people, you got to tell them the truth. Be who you are. If your kid's out committing murders, I mean, y'all, we need to take ownership of these things that are occurring out there and say, we got to fix them. And if you're a legislator, work on fixing it. Come up with some solution. Find out how to find out. Having things at the Capitol aren't helping. I'm Chip Matthews. See ya.